Time to wind down day number 1 of the Colt World Series for 2016 here at Loeb Stadium in Lafayette, Indiana. It's MTC Sports coverage of the Colt World Series. Alongside Sean Walker, Greg Rakestraw with you. Thank you so much for joining us. It is our 5th year being here covering this tournament, and so far a fantastic day number 1. Game number 1, 14-9, saw a victory for Chula Vista, California over the South Texas Sluggers. 7-3, our first international matchup in game number 2, with Mexico defeating a team from South Korea. Hoosier North, very impressive. 10-run rule fashion, 11-0 in 5 innings. They beat the Czech Republic. Our 4th and final game of the night sees the Lafayette All-Stars. This is their traditional place where they start the tournament. They take on the Central Michigan Stars. Clearly, we know these young men from Lafayette have been covering them in many sports at the high school level, but most notably baseball. What should fans expect from this Lafayette All-Stars squad?
Well, I'll tell you what they did differently this year that they've done in years past is they made sure to bring a lot of pitching depth. So not a known ace on the squad this year necessarily, but a lot of live arms. So they got a lot of depth. Out of the 18 players, I believe 11 or 12 of them can get to the mound. So they are set and ready to make a deep run in this tournament this year. And they realized after last year they needed more arm power to get it done.
Our pregame show presented by IU Health, Arnett Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. Give them a phone call or visit their website, the number and the site that you see on the screen. Keeping our fingers crossed, kind of the threat of rain in the forecast really only in play for tonight, and then maybe again at the very end of the tournament. But first couple of games ran a little bit long. Game number 3 went by pretty quickly. We're going to end up starting about 30 minutes late, but given the fact that's game number 4 of the day, you might view that as about 30 minutes early, frankly, as the way tournaments normally go.
Yeah, really not bad at all. We got the opening ceremony snuck in there as well, so to only be 30 minutes behind at this point in time, that's awesome for us.
All right, this is my first game of the day. I think you have been here now for all 4. Give us some of the highlights from the first 3 games today.
Man, I tell you, the young team from Chula Vista, California really impressed me. They jumped out early on that South Texas team. Now, they did show a little bit of chink in their armor, if you want to say, letting Texas come back and score 9 runs in that and make it interesting. But at one point in time, really just had their foot on the accelerator, looked really good. Something else surprising to me is usually the Asia Pacific teams that have come have struggled, and they've kind of been walked over in years past. South Korea really played Mexico in a pretty competitive game there in game 2, and then Hoosier North thoroughly impressed with them. You can tell that team is coached very well. They brought a very good team this year, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Hoosier North make a decent run in this as well. 2
teams that do not play until tomorrow that are in this tournament. The team from Aruba making in our time here, their first appearance at the Colt World Series. Also able to make their debut in this tournament tomorrow. Who else am I missing that is not playing from day number 1?
Greensboro, North Carolina will be there tomorrow. They got the bye this year, which is a benefit to them because last year they played, 6 games in 5 days and just ran out of gas in that championship.
And Greensboro, again, one of the teams that is here seemingly on a year-in, year-out basis. And the big news for the Greensboro program under head coach Reed Holmes last year, they're the team that ended the streak of Los Gatos, California, sent them packing in their search for a 4th consecutive championship.
And sometimes it's just getting over that hurdle. You think about a lot of the NBA teams, Jordan had to beat the Pistons, and you just got to get over that hurdle, and that's exactly with Greensboro. They finally got over Los Gatos last year, got to the championship, got a taste of it. Look for them to make another deep run here this year. Again, Reed Holmes, a very good coach. We've talked about it numerous times today. Greensboro, really with this tournament, not having Los Gatos here, Puerto Rico not being here, it's anybody's ball game right now, and I think that's exciting for everyone. And then, you talk about Aruba. Aruba didn't win the Caribbean Zone to get here, but, kind of got here by default. But this is a team with a lot of youngsters where baseball is kind of new to them, but they were starting to show up. They're making it to the 13 and under series and the 14 and under series and the youth games. They're really coming along with their baseball program. So I'm interested to see where this Colt League team is at as far as skill level.
Lafayette, the certainly home squad in terms of location of this stadium and the fan base that is here tonight. But in terms of the third base dugout, they are the visiting team in tonight, so they'll be coming to bat first. Let's go run through their lineup for you. Powers, Huffins, Levesque, Deering, Berenda, Tyson, Bauer, LaGuire, and Siegel. A couple of guys we at least have their high school stats because these are young men that played varsity baseball here in the area. Levesque, a young man that batted .338 this season. Bauer, .319. A lot of varsity experience for a team chock full of 15 and 16-year-olds.
Yeah, not only did Lafayette bring pitching depth this year, but they brought some very good position players and players that you can just kind of plug them in everywhere, utility players. And then you talk about the hitting prowess out there. You got a player like Tyler Powers as well from Central Catholic who's used to winning. I mean, just all there is to it with that program. They win and they get the job done. And, this team made up a lot of those Lafayette high school teams, whether it's Central Catholic, McCutcheon, Harrison, whatever. You've got some of the best right here. And we said it earlier in the broadcast, Greg, when Chris and I were on, we said it's going to take a strong showing from one of the local teams here this year to really help bring the luster of this tournament back again and get these local fans interested to come out that maybe don't have a son playing or a neighbor playing. They just love the game of baseball.
Let's show you the defensive alignment now for the Central Michigan Stars. Young, Anguiano, and Schaefer in the outfield. Weatherby, Allen, Freeman, and Leonard in the infield. Wyatt Cook is the catcher, and Zach Caloris is the starting pitcher tonight. Zach is going to be a senior at Mount Pleasant High School. So Caloris gets the start in game number 1 for the Central Michigan Stars. He was part of a high school baseball runner-up for his high school team a year ago. Asked if he wants to go to college, he says yes, and his options that he is listing: Central Michigan, Michigan State, and Grand Valley State University. Not sure if he'd like to keep playing baseball as a collegian.
I'll tell you, I was walking around down there earlier with some of these teams, and you look at some of them, and you can just tell there's youth there, baby-faced. But this team from Michigan, they look like, I guess, some lumberjacks, some grown men down there. You see the flow coming out of the hat. You're on your starting shortstop, and now you got some full beards rocking, even a little thicker than what I can probably grow. So this team from Michigan, I know Bay County had a good showing a few years ago here in the Colt World Series. This team from Central Michigan ready to make a run as well.
Tyler Powers leads things off for the Lafayette All-Stars in game number 4 of day number 1. About to get rolling. Third baseman playing in on the grass, expecting potentially a leadoff bunt. First pitch misses low and outside, and we are underway here at Loeb Stadium. Loeb Stadium kind of going through a bit of a period of change over the next few years. This one up the middle, ground ball, shortstop dives, blocks it, has time, steps, fires, gets him by a stride. Outstanding defensive work by Allen. There's one away.
Allen, one of those players that I was talking about, looking like a grown man out there. You see the diving stab here defensively on the replay. Not letting the infield play him, gets up, strong throw across the diamond in time to get the speedy Powers.
This is a facility that has been here for decades. Of course, this event has been here consistently since the early 70s, but there's been more baseball played here than has been played in quite a few summers. This is now the home of a Prospect League summer team, collegiate baseball, the Lafayette Aviators. So this facility a work in progress, and there will be massive changes after this event next year.
Yeah, complete overhaul, really. But they say there's going to be no interruption to baseball. They're going to do it strategically and tear it down and get the field in order, and then they're going to come back here and work on the press box and the grandstand.
Zach Huffins at the plate. Plays his high school baseball at nearby West Lafayette High School.
Greg, too, you talk about the stadium and the renew. If anybody's been to Kokomo here in Kokomo, Indiana, or just Google the Kokomo Jackrabbit Stadium there in Kokomo, Municipal Stadium, that thing is beautiful, and that's what it's going to mirror. They'll have a turf field. Obviously, that helps with, the labor of the grounds crew. It helps with drainage if you get rain. The maintenance itself. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That's in for a strike. Count now at 1-2. Huffins, a young man that has already verbaled to play baseball at Northern Illinois University.
For Zach, that's a pretty good eye there on that pitch, to be honest with you. It's pretty close.
Curveball, a beauty. Strike number 3, and Huffins, no argument whatsoever. Perfect pitch by Caloris. There's 2 down.
Nice thing about that pitch is where he started it. I mean, that pitch was on the outside part of the plate, away from the hitter, and had just enough break on it there to come right through the strike zone for the K.
So Dylan Levesque, young man that played in this event a year ago. Not that many of those are returners from last year's squad for Lafayette. Swing and a miss for Levesque. He plays at Harrison High School. Levesque this year, .338 during his high school varsity season. 10 runs batted in. 1-1 the count. As he aspires to attend Vanderbilt University.
You gotta love it when a young man's already got his goals set, knows where he wants to go, what he wants to do with his life. That may change 4 or 5 times between now and then, but it's nice to set goals.
Lebec taking all the way there, misses low, 2-1 the count. Says his favorite subject in school is sports marketing. Didn't realize that was taught in high school these days.
Maybe something he's studying on his own.
Little liner, center field. That'll fall for a base hit. First hit for the Lafayette All-Stars.
Yeah, there's no reason just because you got 2 outs not to go out there and be aggressive and try to hit one where they're not. Nice piece of hitting right there for Lebec. Puts it into center field. It's a good swing.
His high school teammate and Bobby Deering follows behind him. Bobby batted .273 this year during the high school season. Had 17 runs batted in. This one in the dirt. Catcher pops up, throws, and airmails this one, but the center field is right there to make the play. But no, he's not. It gets by him. They may try to score a run off this. Lebec will round third. Throw comes home. Not in time. An error on the overthrow means that Lafayette gets a free run at the top of the first inning.
But I tell you, these 2 Lafayette area teams, or these 2 teams representing Indiana here today, Hoosier North and Lafayette, being very aggressive out there on the base pass. You see the ball scoots away, makes a heads-up move to take second base, and then right here, center fielder is in the right position, takes his eye off the ball. When he loses it, Lebec says, I'm turning on the Jets, comes all the way around the score.
That is Anguiano, the center fielder. Stolen base and an error. Another diving effort by the shortstop. Fires from the dirt. Not in time. First baseman threw that ball away. Thought he had him. He didn't. Tremendous effort by Allen. But Deering should leg out an infield hit and is being shown as a hit already on the scoreboard.
I'll tell you, look at this defensive play again from Allen, though. Just playing his position well. Throws this one from his knees and almost gets him. I mean, that is a close play at the bag. You can't fault the first baseman for thinking he might have had that third out. But Ty goes with the runner at first.
So Deering with a base hit. Now Ben Berenda to the plate. Plays at Central Catholic. Again, for those of our viewers that are from the state of Indiana, that program needs no introduction. They were runners up at the 2A level yet again this year. A tremendous game with Providence High School of Clarksville out at Victory Field. One in the bottom of the 7th by Providence. Berenda. That ball got away from the catcher, or did it hit him? Catcher can't find the ball. It's on the Colt logo behind home plate.
Again, look at the heads-up base running here from Lafayette, being very aggressive early on, realizing that Michigan has no idea where the baseball is. You see here, it caroms up in the air, and then it kind of lands back here on the logo and just disappears. Catcher, unable to see it. Umpire finally gets out of the way, and the pitcher says, I got it. He runs it down finally.
Well, I couldn't tell what the gesture the home plate umpire was making, whether he was saying that ball made contact with Berenda and was pointing towards first base, or simply calling it as a ball or a strike. Either way, ball was live the entire time. And Deering with the heads-up play makes the turn from first and goes all the way to third.
So far today, too, it's just important to know, all 3 teams that have scored first in today's game have gone on to win.
This one gets away from the catcher, sprinting towards home, play at the plate, and they got him. Tag applied. Deering ruled to be out, 2-1 to end the inning. That same aggression that rewarded Lafayette with an early run unfortunately cost him a third out. Another look here. Lafayette does get on the board with 1 in their half of the first. The Central Michigan Stars come to bat when we come back as you're watching the 2016 Colt World Series at MTC Sports.
And as he does, Jalen Attaway comes flying in with the monster dunk. Get up, young fella.
Down close to the first down.
And it's caught, and he's going to take it down.
Hey, Jennifer Fuzzmike, Trooper Money Slang. Aw, scram.
I'm Chris Mike, Jubby Robon. Y'all gonna lead up in Kiss Bet.
Peace Charity, get town down.
Toothpaste dummy way.
Bro na brood.
What?
With the top 100 shows preloaded, Xfinity is perfect for people who want to join the conversation. Catch up on the shows everyone is talking about. Get started with the Xfinity X1 Triple Play from Comcast for $99 a month for a whole year. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit Comcast.com today.
The Central Michigan Stars coming to bat here in the bottom half of the first. Let's quickly roll through their lineup. Anguiano, Freeman, and Weatherby, followed by Leonard, Allen, and Young. Judge, Schaefer, and Cook for the home squad, the Central Michigan Stars tonight. Defensively now for the Lafayette All-Stars, Levesque, Huffman, and LaGuire in the outfield. Tyson, Powers, Bauer, and Deering in the infield. Berenda behind home plate. And getting the start tonight is Riley Eberhardt, lefty who calls this field home during his high school season as he pitches for Lafayette Jefferson. Was 4-1 and during the varsity season in high school this spring in 9 appearances and had a 4.20 ERA.
That's pretty good. I mean, this is a big ballpark to pitch in, really. You know, you down the lines plays pretty much like a high school baseball field. You get to that gap in center field, and this place plays very large, so it's a great home record there.
While we have the opportunity, 321 down the left field line, 368 to left center, 407 to just left of center. Then it narrows to 355 in right center and 327 down the right field line. Right now, wind is minimal. What breeze we have is blowing out towards left field. So Anguiano at the plate. First pitch strike from the lefty in Eberhardt.
And that's actually a change from what we had earlier. We had a lot of wind there in the first game. Routine fly balls were carrying all the way to the fence. No home runs yet today, but definitely some deep balls hit early on.
There's a little bit of a cold front that has moved through that is supposed to usher in cooler temperatures both tomorrow and Sunday. Now cooler in terms of mid-80s, but hasn't been, say, extreme heat here in this area over the last few weeks, but it's been very muggy here.
Yeah, humid for sure.
Over the last few weeks. Heat indexes, or indices, if you will, have been a bit of an issue. But the forecast, by and large, is outstanding for the next several days. Temperatures mid to upper 80s, dry conditions expected. Exactly what you want to have for a baseball tournament.
You couldn't get any better.
Anguiano is from Alma, Michigan. Of course, if you ever met anybody from Michigan, they're from the lower part. They'll point to their palm or exactly where in the state they are supposed to be from. And you cannot get more central in Michigan than Alma, Michigan. Swing and a miss. 3-2 the count. And as I would imagine be the case for a large chunk of these players, when asked their favorite baseball team, the stock answer is the Detroit Tigers.
Sure.
Fouled straight back. Damon says he hopes to attend Arizona State University. A little liner. That'll get through into right center field for a base hit. Leadoff man aboard for Central Michigan.
They always talk about wanting to get your leadoff batter of each inning on base, and especially when it's right there at the top part of your lineup. You get the speed on the base pass. Try to give Lafayette a dose of their own medicine here. We'll see how aggressive Michigan will be now. Nice swing here. Just puts it right over the top of the second baseman out there into the gap.
So David Freeman now the second baseman up to the plate. Lefty versus lefty here. Eberhardt with the toss over to first to keep him honest. Third baseman Keldon Tyson was playing it on the grass on the first pitch. And I'm not sure what the reason for the holdup or the maybe they're asking for the lights to be turned on. That might be the request from the third base coach for Central Michigan. As the sun is officially setting here in about 15 minutes in the local area.
Good call. You should always play under the lights anyway, even if it's broad daylight. Turn the lights on. Let's get it.
Swing and a miss. And as we speak, the lights are starting to fire on here at Loeb. And Eberhardt just making sure on Anguiano. As Sean talked about, being aggressive on the base pass has generally been rewarded so far in day one of the Colt World Series. This one high and in tight on Freeman. Ducks away at the last moment, 1-1 the count.
About got him. We've seen quite a few hit batters today over the course of the tournament already.
Pops straight up. Pitcher has the best play. Oftentimes you want one of your fielders to call off the pitcher, not there. He had the easiest play, makes it 1 down.
A nice job being able to come off the mound after the pitch, field your position. It gives you confidence out there as a pitcher as well when you're able to make a play defensively to help your own cause. It also help the confidence of the entire team.
Austin Weatherby at the plate now. He is the third baseman. Curveball hits the outside corner. Strike 1 called. Austin is from Mount Pleasant, Michigan, which, if you know your collegiate geography, is the home of Central Michigan University. Pops straight back, 0-2 the count. Lists his favorite baseball team as the Tigers, but not surprisingly, a couple of Michigan State Spartans as his favorite athletes in other sports. Draymond Green and Connor Cook, his favorite non-baseball players. Berenda keeps it in front of him. Runner goes anyway, and Anguiano was flying.
Yeah, there was no chance there. Even if he fields this one cleanly, I don't think he's got him. Anguiano, you knew it was just a matter of time. That leadoff hitter, your starting center fielder, gets on base. More than likely, he's swiping second at some point.
And we'll be seeing him stealing bases throughout the course of the tournament with that level of speed.
Look at there. I mean, he's already 3/4 down the line. And what makes that even more impressive is he's stealing off of a lefty too. You know, so you saw he tried to keep him close there a few times, did Eberhardt, but Anguiano.
So 1-2 the count. Runner will advance to third, but Lafayette will get the out at first. 2 down, but tying a run now 90 feet away for Central Michigan.
Again, both outs manufactured here by Eberhardt, coming off the mound to field his own position. You see here, kind of hit over towards the first base side. He looks at the runner, realizes I got no chance. Let's get the sure thing at first.
Dyer Leonard. He's from Shepherd, Michigan.
Probably one of my favorite names in the tournament so far.
There was a longtime pitcher in Major League and minor league baseball named Dyer Miller. A career in coaching after his playing days did Dyer. And he calls the Indianapolis area home. Got his baseball card from 1982 if you'd like to see it. This one low into the dirt. 2-0.
You know, I don't doubt that.
Dyer says Bryce Harper is his favorite player. He's taken all the way at 3-0. My apologies, being a ball behind on the count, and now it is 3-1. Sends a charge into this one. Left fielder, back it up at the fence. And that one's gone. That is a home run. First one of the day, Dyer Leonard just left to the 368 side. And Central Michigan out to a 2-1 lead.
Absolutely put a charge into this one, and I'll tell you, not a lot of wind out there, so that one right there is power for Leonard. Hits it just left of the 368 sign out there in left center field, but more importantly, plays a couple of runs here for Michigan. They regain the lead. Look at this swing again, and that ball, once it got up, it just continued to carry and carry, and you knew it had a chance.
Now, certainly the wind helped it a bit, but that was primarily off the power of Leonard. So 2-run blast. And Jeff Allen, we saw him make a couple of nice defensive plays at shortstop. First chance to see him at the plate when he watches that one go by for a strike.
If you're Eberhardt here, you got to shake that last one off. You made a mistake. on the pitch, you come right back here and go after Allen.
Allen is quick to point out that his favorite baseball player was Noah Syndergaard, and he added, because of the hair. We can figure it out, kid. He has that Syndergaard look to him, does he not?
Does.
Slow roller, second baseman charges. Allen hustling down the line, but throw is made in time by Bauer to Deering, and the inning is over. But the two-run blast by Dyer Leonard puts Central Michigan back in front. 2-1 after one, as you're watching the 2016 Colt World Series on MTC Sports.
Most of the time, commercials require a fancy voiceover to sell their product. But here at Pepe's Mexican Restaurant, we believe in letting these images speak for themselves. But I just can't help myself. Tantalizing. Delicious. I can almost taste it. Pepe's Mexican Restaurant, Sagamore Parkway, Lafayette.
MLB Network brings you closer all season long.
That ball is gone.
With 5 games every week.
Are you kidding me?
And 200 games this season.
Unbelievable.
With MLB Tonight's live coverage every night.
That is so true.
And more highlights.
His 3,000 hit.
Analysis.
A fastball that cuts.
And live look-ins all night long.
Number 500.
Get closer to the game on MLB Network.
Are you 62 years or older? Are you disabled? Coloris on for his second inning of work. Did allow 2 hits, but the threat of potentially 2 runs ended up being 1. Really were on wild pitches and mental mistakes. He pitched around those hits pretty well.
Yeah, he really did. And then come back on the offensive side of things, and Central Michigan, Dyer Leonard puts a charge into 1. You see that home run swing here again. That's why Central Michigan's up now 2-1. I'm with you with Coloris. He did a good job there in the first inning. I think defensively they just settled down a little bit. They'll be fine.
So Berenda was at the plate when Deering tried to score on the wild pitch from third and was ruled to be out. So Berenda gets a reset on his at-bat. Second chance to see Coloris in as many innings. And the first pitch is low and inside for a ball. His high school baseball team at Central Catholic this year lost just twice during the course of the season, including that championship game to Providence.
Definitely not a team that is used to losing very many games. And so, I think that honestly it was a shock to them when they got beat in the state championship game. They all had the confidence and expected to win that game.
Fouled straight back 2-2. In the state of Indiana, 4 different classifications for the sport of baseball. An attendance record was set at Victory Field for those games this year. Over 13,000 fans were in attendance over 2 nights.
That's wonderful.
Including 6,800 for the Friday night 4A state championship game. Won by Indianapolis Roncalli over Zionsville in 9 innings.
And here in Indiana, we've got what they call the tradition factor now. So people outside the state that don't know about Central Catholic, they're a team that size-wise would compete in the single A. But because they've had such success, they've actually earned so many points that they had to move up to 2A, and they've competed there as well, getting to the championship game.
And they could be in 3A after next year.
Right.
That's a walk that is worked by Berenda. So the last 3 batters that have faced Coloris have all reached first base. And they've quickly moved off of first base because of either a wild pitch or an error. This is Keldon Tyson, young man from McCutcheon High School.
Tyson was a member of the basketball team that made it all the way to the state championship game this year. They finished just short, had an opportunity, really an injury to Charles Fennessy, I think really slowed them down. They were rolling in that game until he went down. Tyson, one of those young players that will see quite a bit of time there at McCutcheon in multiple sports.
He says his goal is to become a professional baseball player. So while he plays both baseball and basketball, he thinks the level he'll play at beyond high school is this sport. 3-0 the count. As the Cardinals are his favorite team and Ozzie Smith his favorite player.
Love it.
That might be the reason why he's got a number 1 jersey on for this tournament.
I just want to see if he can do a backflip out there like the Wizard used to.
That's in for a strike, 3-1 the count. Says his favorite movie is Forrest Gump, and that his dog is named Forrest after the movie. Line drive, center field. Anguiano had it played perfectly. Next to catch, and there's one down.
You know, sometimes you hit the ball right where you know you're supposed to for the swing. You hit it hard, but you hit it right at the defense. Well hit ball, but as you talked about, Anguiano out there in center, playing it perfect, right in the perfect spot.
So Alex Bauer now to the plate. Talked about his hitting prowess from his high school days. Plays at Harrison High School locally. In this Lafayette All-Star squad, pulls from the 5 area high schools that represent Tippecanoe County. Harrison, McCutcheon, Jeff, Central Catholic, and West Lafayette.
I believe that Bauer played on this team last year as well, so he's one of the return players here for the Lafayette All-Stars.
Says his favorite team is the Cleveland Indians, and his favorite player is Jason Kipnis.
Looks like he loves some Cleveland area there, period. His favorite player in another sport is LeBron James.
Could be 2, 4, 6. Well, not a good throw, and I don't think even a great throw would have gotten Bauer. But they do get the lead runner, and there's 2 down. Good work by the middle infielders for Central Michigan.
It looked like a pretty good slide there. It looked like a legal slide as well going into second to break up this double play here. Just enough to bother Allen on that throw. Looked like he tried to hold up from throwing it, to be honest with you, and just kind of threw it right in the dirt.
So Jonathan LaGuire. He's back from a year ago as well. 2 plays at Harrison High School. Batted .231 with 9 runs batted in for the Raiders this season. Speaking of the Raiders, although I guess maybe you'd say the Royals on this one, says his favorite baseball player, Bo Jackson.
You just got to put favorite athlete, one of your favorite athletes of all time. That man, if he doesn't get injured, he's probably one of the best football running backs of all time. If he has a lengthy career, he was a very good baseball player as well.
This is where I point out that Bo Jackson had been retired for 6 years before Jonathan LaGuire had been born.
Right. But that's the awesomeness of YouTube, anymore.
Or a 30 for 30 documentary.
Yeah, or 30 for 30. Bo don't know diddly. I used to love those commercials too.
Sizable lead at first base.
Got
Too
it.
sizable because picked off was Bauer. Caloris gets the out, and the inning comes to an end. So for the second straight inning, the third out doesn't happen because of a batter for Lafayette. Central Michigan leads 2-1 going to the home half of the second here on MTC Sports.
If you answered yes to either of those questions and you were looking for a new place to call home, then look no further than Friendship Gardens Apartments in Mulberry, located in a nice peaceful setting just minutes from Lafayette or Frankfort. Our apartments are HUD approved and the rent is based upon your income. This 30-unit apartment complex was designed with the needs of the active senior and disabled adults in mind. At Friendship Gardens, you enjoy a sense of belonging that extends throughout the entire community.
How can the Farmers Bank mobile app help you? You can transfer funds, check your account balances, make Farmers Bank loan payments, pay bills, check your account history, or locate our branches and ATMs, all from the convenient safety of your own smartphone. Our app features all these benefits, plus all the safety and security that you have grown to expect from the Farmers Bank. The Farmers Bank, your local bank, your mobile bank, your bank for life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
As always here at the Colt World Series, we love to thank our sponsors. Right now, Central Michigan up over Lafayette All-Stars 2-1. Our sponsors for tonight's matchup brought to us by our friends over at Alcoa. Thank Alcoa for their sponsorship, as well as Speed Pro Imaging. Great big graphics. And we've got the Eagles, FOE. I want to thank the sponsorship from all of them. There's Intact Management Group, LLC, as well. Without our sponsors, we couldn't put on the World Series like we do every year here on MTC Sports.
6, 7, and 8 due up this time through for Central Michigan. This is Austin Young. He sees that one go by for a strike. It's a good piece of this one, third baseman. Well, Tyson had it for a moment and then quickly kicked it away. Leadoff man is aboard for the second consecutive inning now for Central Michigan.
Ruled out an E5, but, credit Young for hustling down the line. Even though, you think that you're going to be out here, you never know what's going to happen. That's why you run it out. We saw a young man earlier in the game not hustle down the line, and he got yanked. He didn't play the rest of the game.
That one just misses off the corner. So Thomas Judge, the DH, batting for the pitcher spot in Caloris. And that's in for a strike. And you saw in the graphic his favorite play in another sport, Dan Lefevre. And he then, in the bios that we have filled out, it was nice to say former Central Michigan quarterback. This is where I tell Thomas that in the days that Dan Lefevre was at CMU, I was covering Ball State football, so trust me, I know very well who Dan Lefevre was. Tremendous college quarterback for the Chippewas of Central Michigan. That's in for a strike. Thomas says he hopes to attend CMU when he's done with his high school days.
Very modest lead at first.
And that's a walk. So first two runners aboard now for Central Michigan.
Never a good sign when you let the guys on. You get an error and then you turn around and you walk the next batter. You want to make sure that you stay on top of these hitters, especially with no outs in the inning. Double play ball is very hard to come by today.
This is Cade Schaefer. Putting the bunt down and puts it down perfectly. Eberhard fields and has no play. Did the wise thing, just picked it up. Don't make it worse by trying to force something that's not there. Textbook by Schaefer, bases loaded, nobody out.
You want to win baseball games, this is how you do it right here. You do it textbook, as you just said, to steal the word out of your sentence. When you do the little things right in the game of baseball, you usually find success. And we've seen it defensively here from Michigan. They've caught Lafayette trying to be aggressive twice now with a big lead, got picked off, got thrown out at home plate trying to get there on a pass ball. And now offensively doing the little things right as well.
Wyatt Cook, the catcher, batting in the number 9 position. First and third baseman playing even with the bags. They would come home on a ground ball up the middle. They try to get the out. Cook will lift this into the outfield. Should be enough for the runner at third to tag. Catch is made. Throw does go home, and what a perfect throw that is. They dives for the plate, and he doesn't get him. Berenda didn't tag him. I thought there was no way that LaGuire would have a play on in home plate. LaGuire, frankly, had him dead to rights. The runner didn't slide. He ran around the catcher, then dives for a home plate. Run scores for Michigan. They lead 3-1.
Here's what you got to wonder is how far out of the base path does he go here once he hits the circle? And I think that may be what Loggins is talking about. I don't think he's disagreeing with the fact that he missed him on the first one, because you even see the catcher realizing I've got to come back and make the tag. That's usually a telltale I didn't get him myself. But I think Loggins is asking, is he out of the base path at that point in time to get around my catcher?
So advancing from second to third on the play was Judge. That is a tremendous arm that was shown by LaGuire, and he threw an absolute strike from right field.
I'm with you. We've seen balls hit that deep, and it's scored runs easily all day. Look at this that he throws. And again, it is right to the catcher. He does miss the tag there, but if you look, I mean, his feet, he's way back here by the Loeb, the lettering in the back of the circle.
So it's an RBI for Cook. It is 3-1 for Central Michigan. There is an out now recorded. And Anguiano, the leadoff man, will come to the plate, and again, runners at the corners at first and third.
If you're a Lafayette All-Star, you're a fan of them, they got to shake this off here and really try to just get back to playing good baseball. They jumped out to that early 1-0 lead, but since then, Michigan has turned the tables on them.
So Anguiano, the leadoff man, back up. Little liner to center first time, and tries to slice this one down the right field line.
And we saw his speed on the base pass. Now, granted, if he reaches here, he's probably got a couple of people in front of him, but not somebody you really want out there on the base pass at all with that speed.
And infielders up the middle playing at double play depth. They don't have to worry about that now. Anguiano goes down on 3 strikes. First strikeout for Eberhard and 2 away.
I'll tell you, that's a big pitch right there, too, to get him out, get that second out of the inning. And now you've got options out there. You can go to second, you can go to first, whatever is the easier play here. If you're Freeman, you want to just try to put the ball in play hard somewhere, give yourself a chance. We've seen this infield play like a trampoline today a lot, where when it hits, that ball really caroms in the air.
Freeman a pop-up to Eberhard his last time up. This one gets by the catcher. That should be run number 4, and it will be. Scampering home to score is Judge. 2 runs in each of the first and the second for Central Michigan, and they got a 3-1 lead. 3-run lead, excuse me.
And Michigan just playing really good baseball right now, and you would call it mistake-free baseball. On the other side, that's kind of what is killing Lafayette right now, just little mistakes here and there. But in a game like this, they can add up quickly.
Tried to duck under that curveball, did Freeman. That's in for a strike. Freeman says his favorite baseball player, Ian Kinsler. His favorite non-baseball athlete, Cristiano Ronaldo. Good look from down the third base line here at Loeb Stadium. That misses high and outside, 3-1 the count. It's taking it 3-1. One split the dish that time, full count. So here in the second inning for Eberhard, this is already the 11th batter he has faced. Curveball in there, strike 3.
Boy, what confidence to throw that there.
Well done by Eberhard, but again, Central Michigan puts 2 more on the board. 4-1 they lead through 2 at the Colt World Series here on MTC Sports. Beautiful night for baseball here at the Columbian Park Complex, Loeb Stadium, here in the heart of Lafayette. Greg Rakestraw, Sean Walker with you on MTC Sports. Be with you all the way through Wednesday in the championship night. 4 games today, 4 games tomorrow, 4 games on Sunday, 3 more on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, and anywhere from 1 to 3 if necessary on Wednesday.
And sprinkling the Champions game now for the Tippy Red and Blue teams that'll take part there on Wednesday as well.
That is scheduled for 6 o'clock. Championship game 7:30. So for Lafayette, McGuire, who is at the plate. It was McGuire's throw that we were marveling at last inning. That was a Bo Jackson-like throw, as we cited his favorite baseball player.
Yeah, when you go to those scouting days and that's one of the things they're going to look at is your arm. And he showed he's got it right there. You need to have that major league arm, and he's got it for sure.
This is the part where you talk about DVD sales, Sean, because I think the family needs to buy one for that throw alone.
Absolutely. Just and then crop that highlight out and send that to every college coach and scout and prospect you can find in the area. DVDs for every game already on our website at mtcsports.net.
Jonathan says he hopes to attend Indiana University or Ball State once his high school days are done. He'll start this inning, though, with a 4-pitch walk. And for the second inning in a row, the leadoff man is walked by Coloris. So Jay Siegel, the DH. He too is batting in Everhart's positional lineup. So neither pitcher is hitting in this game. Siegel plays for Lafayette Jeff, which is maybe a mile or two at most away here from Loeb Stadium. And this is their home facility. Quick toss back over to first, and McGuire back in plenty of time. Jay was second team all-conference for Lafayette Jeff this year. That is the North Central Conference of which they are a member. Another toss back, and McGuire not straying near as far away from the bag as Bauer was in the previous inning.
Now, I think that you've seen two things in this game. One, don't run on McGuire, and two, don't get a big lead against Coloris because he's got a good pickoff move.
That's in for a strike. Siegel says his favorite team, the Yankees, his favorite player, the newly retired Derek Jeter. I've not seen any of the young men from Michigan list Jeter as their favorite player, despite the fact that Derek is from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Another toss back, and Coloris must be convinced that he's kind of picking up a sign or two, thinking they're going. Two and one the count. Siegel hit .262 for the Broncos of Lafayette Jefferson this past spring. Had 9 runs batted in.
I said this in the last game. You get the swing and a miss here, but I'm loving how these younger players they're showing some love to the old dudes. You know, he's got Derek Jeter as his favorite baseball player, retired. Peyton Manning of his favorite in another sport, retired. Wes Welker, pretty much retired at this point in time.
Runner goes. And there will not even be a play at second. LaGuire picked a good pitch to go on. Off-speed pitch by Coloris, and LaGuire easily nabs second.
Now for Lafayette here, it's important for these guys to strike back this inning. As you see McGuire snag that base down there at second, it's important to cut back into this lead and really put some pressure on Michigan. You can't let them get into a groove out here already with that 4-1 lead.
Little line drive, second baseman gets there, runner will advance to third, but Grass slowed that one down for Siegel. Out number 1, but a runner 90 feet away now for the Lafayette All-Stars.
Yeah, good piece of hitting right there on a full count. Got to swing at this when it's a strike. He nearly gets a base hit, but he hit it in a perfect spot to advance that runner to third, which is really what you want to do there anyway.
So Tyler Powers out of the plate. Powers a ground ball to short that Allen made a nice play on to lead off this game. Powers will be a senior this fall at Central Catholic. This is his favorite team, the Chicago Cubs. Ground ball, that'll get through for a base hit, and Lafayette tacks one more on the board. The lead for Central Michigan now shrinks to 2 at 4-2.
Yeah, good piece of hitting right there. RBI single for Powers. You can see why they got him hitting early in this lineup. This one hit right between the 5 and the 6 hole there. Into the outfield. Powers nicely done.
So Zach Huffins at the plate. What an interesting time of year this must be for him. Not only getting to play in this Colt World Series, but when your dad was an Olympic decathlete and the opening ceremonies are tonight, this is a rather busy time of year in the Huffins household.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chris said earlier that he is actually in Rio right now at the Olympics. So maybe he's tuning in on the broadcast and looking to take this one in and watch his son play here tonight.
Dad was a bronze medalist in the 2000 Sydney Games in the decathlon. And is part of the track and field staff at Purdue University. So Huffins, who struck out looking back in the first. Two and one the count.
Pitch maybe a little bit outside there, but still a hitter's pitch to go after here. Powers playing a little cat and mouse there with Caloris. He's got to be careful. He's got a good move to first. You don't want somebody sneaking in behind you out there and getting picked off at second.
Little flare down the right field line. Right
trouble.
Fielder coming in. He's got to play. Catch is made. No advance in the runner from second base, and there's two down.
Well, the wind, not much of it out there, but just hung that one up long enough for the right fielder to get there, showing some good speed to track that one down. When it first left the bat, I thought that was going to be trouble.
It was great hustle by Schaefer, the right fielder, to make that play look easier than it was. Two down. Good look at Josh Loggins, the head coach of the Lafayette All-Stars. He's handling the activities on the third base line. And here is Levesque. Strike called.
That's a nice pitch.
Levesque playing for his second straight year for the Lafayette All-Stars, but he is originally from Canada. He says his goal is to be a Major League Baseball player. There have been certainly several of those that have played in this event over the years.
Absolutely. We were talking about Lucas Urseg earlier that we saw a couple years ago from Los Gatos, started his college career at Cal, then transferred, and he was just drafted.
Count it 2-1. Dylan plays at Harrison High School. Plays for the Indiana Bulls travel baseball program as well. This ball travels well off the bat over the head of Anguiano. That could be a triple. It will at least be a run-scoring extra base hit. Levesque turns the corner at second, and they won't even make a play at third base. Levesque a three-bagger, and it's 3 runs on the board for the Lafayette All-Stars.
This is a big inning for Lafayette, and I really feel like they needed to respond like this. Huge hit from Levesque. And you see, really, Michigan playing kind of shallow here tonight. And so far, Lafayette unable to make them pay until this one. Levesque puts it over his head all the way to the alley. And he turned the Jets on, turned it into 3 bases.
So Bobby Daring, who got a single his last time up, a single here would tie this game.
It's one thing to leave a runner on when you got him at first. It hurts worse in a one-run game like this if you leave him on down there at third.
So the only scoreless half of inning so far was last inning for Lafayette. Bobby Daring, a White Sox fan and a big fan of Chris Sale. This is inside 2-0. But if he's a Chris Sale fan, I just hope that the jerseys are approved by Bobby. Don't want him getting too upset about a particular jersey that the Lafayette All-Stars might be wearing.
Sir.
I don't think there's any throwback gear planned for Lafayette while they're here. Count at 3-0.
Well, Chris say he just wants to be more concerned about winning baseball games.
You can't win if you don't play.
That's true.
And it's a 4-pitch walk. So a rally developing here for Lafayette. Second walk of the inning. Third walk of the game. And Ben Berenda comes to the plate. Catcher who walked and then was forced out at second base back in the second.
You know, when you get to this level of play, you get here to the culmination of the Colt World Series, you got to know the team you're playing against is more than likely going to make a run at some point in time. It's how you weather the storm. And for Caloris right here, just got to find a way to get that last out of the inning. You got some options with a ground ball or try to get a fly ball or just keep being aggressive. He's throwing good pitches.
And a swing and a miss. Time is called. Brendan, your number 5 hitter. Do you try to get something going on the base pass here if you're Lafayette?
I wouldn't be afraid to try to swipe second here, and if they throw down, you got to expect they'll try to cut it off and come back home, but you can't get caught in a rundown between third and home and give that up.
Brendan's been out in front of a couple of them. At least he's kind of pulled off of them 0-2.
Yeah, even now. I mean, you're right there with Brenda, a good player, your catcher. You might take a shot at second base here and just try to get another runner in the scoring position if possible.
Almost strike 3. Certainly Caloris thought he had it. Just missed off the inside corner.
Now, if you're Berenda here, you're not going to get another one gift wrapped like that. You're going to have to swing at the next one close because I'll tell you, that was right there.
Tries to work the outside corner and misses away. 2-2 the count. Berenda now the 7th batter to the plate this inning for Lafayette. And the pitch count starting to kind of roll up there for Anguiano because he is almost in danger of losing him from an 0-2 count and potentially a 4th walk of the night.
Runner definitely moving here from first to second.
Which is why Caloris wanted to inch him back a little bit by throwing over to first. Just once that ball heads home, Deering can get a head start from first base. He does. And Caloris misses off the corner. Back-to-back walks. Both in the inning and both in terms of at-bats for Berenda tonight. Calvin Tyson hit it hard, but hit it right at the center fielder and Anguiano his last time up.
And for Tyson, a base hit here is huge. It pretty much gives you the lead if you can get one into the gap.
That's in for a strike. This one slips out of the hands of Caloris. And no damage done. 1-1 the count. That hits the outside corner, 1-2. Caloris potentially one pitch away from getting out of this with the lead intact. Going to the home half of the third.
That'd be a huge feat here as well.
It's not that pitch, 2-2.
He was out in front of Berenda 0-2 as well and then ended up giving up the walk. For Tyson, you got to just keep that keen eye. Look for something in the strike zone that you can hit here. Or do that.
We'll see at least one more pitch as he fouls this one back.
We've seen some really good at-bats here today at the Colt World Series. There was a young man earlier, pitch went 10-11 before finally getting a base hit where he just battled back, and he was down 0-2 earlier as well. I believe that was in the Mexico game.
Popped up and again out of play. We'll do this again at 2-2.
After you get 4 games into it, they all start to run together,
That was a common occurrence for our crew here at this tournament over the years.
By the time Sunday hits, it's just delirium. You're not really sure what day it is, who's playing who's on first, all that good stuff. But it's a lot of fun, man. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Tyson, line drive, right field. Schaefer over, makes the play. 2 outstanding plays in right field by Schaefer, and he keeps his team in front. Lafayette scores 2, but leaves the bases loaded. Central Michigan leads 4-3 going to the home half of the third here at MTC Sports.
Come on, everybody. I think this is my grandson.
Little girl, you look so
Oh, my goodness.
lonesome.
I see you all feeling blue. Come on over to my place. Hey girl, we're having a party. We'll be singing and dancing and singing. Baby, come on over tonight.
Hi, I'm Ashley with the Farmers Bank. I'm here to introduce the Farmers Bank mobile banking app for your smartphone. Find us at the App Store or the Play Store. To find our app, search for the Farmers Bank Mobile Banking Fiserv Solutions. Have your finances at your fingertips anytime, all the time. Sign up today. The Farmers Bank, your local bank, your mobile bank, your bank for life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You see Dyer Leonard. Dyer hit that two-run blast back in the first, presented with the baseball, as is the tradition here at the Colt World Series. That was sent towards the original frozen custard across the street.
That's when it was still daylight in this game. It got dark awful quick here at the ballpark.
So Weatherby to lead this inning off for Central Michigan. 3, 4, and 5. So Leonard will be up next for the Central Michigan Stars. Weatherby, a tapper back to Eberhardt last time up. LaGuire drifting over in right field, makes the play, one down. And for the first time tonight, Central Michigan's leadoff man is retired. Start to see a couple, three players heading towards the bullpen for the Lafayette All-Stars, and in one sense, you can't let this game get away from you from a pitching standpoint, but also, if you get a short outing in game number one, it kind of sets your pitching staff back for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, and it's something else to think about, too, here. We saw it in the last game with Hoosier North as Eberhardt's in his third inning of work right here.
Little liner, second baseman is there, and Eberhardt working quickly here in the home half of the third, 2 down.
But for Eberhardt, if he only goes 3 innings, they could turn around and use him tomorrow if they needed to. There would be no rest requirements, so that may be something that Lafayette looks to mix it up a little bit as well.
You see some of the activity starting to take shape in the bullpen. Kyle Pendleton, first pitcher looking to loosen up. So here's Jeff Allen. Shortstop, ground ball to second base his last time at the plate. And quickly down in an 0-2 scenario.
I mean, really, when you look at Eberhardt's outing so far, he's not pitched a bad game. You know, other than that mistake on the home run.
And strike 3, and Allen knew it as soon as that ball went by him. So clearly Eberhardt's most impressive inning of work, and in the blink of an eye we go to the top of the fourth. Central Michigan maintains a 4-3 lead as you watch the K right here on MTC Sports.
Pony baseball began in the summer of 1951 with the organization of the original Pony League in Washington, Pennsylvania. The league was originally designed to help transition 13 and 14-year-old players from the Little League Diamond to the regulation-sized Diamond. Today, more than 500,000 players participate in the Pony organization annually in the United States and in more than 25 countries around the world. For more information on Pony baseball, go to pony.org. Don't miss Pony baseball for the world. Pure baseball, pure pony.
4 games on a Friday. It's just like I like it.
They scrutinize every pitch.
Did you grip it tight or loose?
Study every swing.
You absolutely whacked that ball yesterday, by the way.
Analyze every move.
We're making a run. Towards the end of the year, nobody's leaving.
During the season and the off-season.
I think this is a nice sign for both sides.
Baseball never stops, and nobody covers it all year long like MLB Tonight.
Tonight was great for the game of baseball.
Every night on MLB Network.
A look from our center field camera. I believe Jake Morris is out there in center field. Is that right?
That's correct.
Part of our great MTC Sports crew. That's from just the right of the 407 sign, showing you the 355 sign in right center. 7, 8, and 9 coming up this time through for the Lafayette All-Stars. Bauer, LaGuire, and Siegel. Bauer reached on a fielder's choice, was picked off at first to end the second. 2 runs in the top of the third, but it could have been more for Lafayette. Alex, a young man with a 4.0 grade point average at Harrison High School. Basketball player as well. Caloris has been flirting with danger because of walks, and he finds himself in a 3-0 predicament here.
Yeah, this bodes well for Lafayette if they can get that leadoff runner aboard again. Now, once Bauer gets down there, he can't get picked off this time, so you expect to see him with a little bit shorter lead over there at first base.
That is walk number 5. So leadoff man aboard, and that is the case now for a 3rd successive inning for Lafayette.
You know, they say they always seem to come back to haunt you. Those leadoff walks or errors given up early in an inning.
Make it 5 in a row now to start this inning in terms of pitches outside of the zone for Caloris. The Central Michigan group has just 13 players on the trip. Just in terms of sheer numbers, their depth maybe not as substantial as some other teams.
You know, the benefit to win here tonight is you don't play again until Sunday. So everybody gets a day off tomorrow for the winning squad. So that may change a little bit in how they coach this game. You know, he made the comment about allowing Everhart to pitch a 4th inning, where if it was 3rd, he'd be able to turn around and pitch again tomorrow if you needed him. But if you win this game, you don't play again tomorrow. But that's the gamble. That's the dice you got to roll at this point in time.
Swing and a miss.
It's not like the Hoosier North scenario earlier where they were up 8-0 when they made the decision to pull their starter out after 3 innings and save him if they need him again tomorrow.
Toss back. McGuire walked and scored last inning. Picked up a stolen base as well. And 2-2.
I think it's mandatory anymore. If you're the parent of a baseball player, you pretty much have to own a pressure washer at this point, don't you? You know, to get the grass stain and the dirt out of these clothes.
Bauer dives back in time.
I'd say he's really testing that over there. The nice lead. It's great to have a lot of confidence in yourself, but
a lot of these young men, they've been playing for the better part of the last 4.5 months at this point. Runner goes. Batter swings, and Bauer have to turn right back around and go to first on the foul ball, 2-2.
You know, but at the same time, I do, in my mind, I mean, you don't, if you're a fan of Lafayette, you don't want to see Bauer get picked off again, but you got to like the fact, the confidence and the aggressiveness again from Lafayette, trying to manufacture another run here to tie this thing up in the 4th inning.
Bauer a little more leery after tipping his hand going on the foul pitch last time. Count remains 2-2. Dwyer will see a 7th pitch of the at-bat. He fouls that one off the hands.
I really like this young man's game. I mean, obviously we saw the arm earlier. Good patience at the plate back in the 3rd inning when he drew the walk. And then again here, just fighting off pitches to try to see the next one.
3-2. Jonathan says his favorite saying is, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Great movie.
You can tell he's a big fan of the Ocho.
See if it pays off for him, Cotton.
Ball gets away on the pickoff play. That one down the right field line. Bauer's going to take second. They're going to wave him around to third. Throw from the first baseman will not be in time. Doesn't get through the shortstop. It is a 2-base miscue. And a tying run now 90 feet away for the Lafayette All-Stars.
Boy, you got to love that right there. Bauer dancing around on first. A little bit out there and gets the attention of Caloris. And then right here, the throwaway allows Bauer to get up. And then the way the dimensions of this field are, very wide down there before it hits about midway to the outfield and it comes back in. And so we've seen this a couple times today. The ball gets away from the first baseman. Guess what? It's not just one base, it's two.
Infield plays in with nobody else on the base pass. McGuire might have chased ball 4 that time. But the lengthy at bat continues.
But for McGuire, in an account like this, when you were down and then you battle back and get it full, you go from trying to battle it off and put a ball in play and move the runner. Well, strikeout here, never mind.
But he still, that's an at bat that'll pay off down the road.
Because you got to think, if he strikes out earlier in that at bat or does something, it doesn't give the opportunity to Bauer to get the throwaway and advance over to third. So good job seeing a ton of pitches.
So 1 down. Infield stays in here. For Caloris, that is the second strikeout he has recorded tonight. Siegel a ground ball to second base last time up. First pitch swinging, pops this one up. Second baseman has all kinds of time to make that play. And there are 2 down.
I tell you, if you don't find a way to get this runner in from third here, you're kicking yourself at the end of this inning. You get a man to third base with no outs in the inning. You get a strikeout and a pop out to second. You've seen that Caloris has struggled to throw strikes, and you come up first pitch swinging. I think you got to be a little bit more patient there as the 9-hitter, realizing the situation.
So Tyler Powers, who singled and scored last time up. Infield, of course, drops back with 2 outs. This one down the right field line. Fair ball, fair ball. Tying run will score. It'll at least be a double. They'll again give him the wave around. There will not be a play at third. Second inning in a row with a triple for Lafayette, and we're tied at 4.
Powers bails him out right here with a huge hit. Puts this one right down the line, and when it got down the line, it all the way to the fence into the gap down there in right field, and then just turned on the wheels. RBI triple. We got it all tied up here at 4.
So Bauer comes around to score. For Powers, it is his second RBI in as many plate appearances. And the same scenario here exists for Lafayette. Runner 90 feet away with 2 down. Huffins 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out looking in the first. And a fly ball to right field last time up. You can tell that Huffins has some ties to New York City. All of his favorite teams are of the New York variety.
Sure.
His favorite teams are the Mets, the Jets, and the Knicks.
Throwing a little Sinatra, and you got the all the way around the horn there.
Strike called 2-1. Even lists his favorite other players of various other sports. Darrell Rivas, Carmelo Anthony.
Probably excited about that New York Knicks team this year.
Line drive, second baseman didn't see it off the bat. Ball kicks off the right fielder. Huffins turns on the Jets, and he'll stand up at second base. But regardless of the play in right field, that was going to drive home the go-ahead run for Lafayette. An absolute laser for Huffins to right, and it's 5-4 Lafayette.
Yeah, RBI single here advances to second base on the misplay out there in right field, and the Jets were turned on. You talk about speed. Huffins has got some speed. He went from first to second in the blink of an eye.
So Levesque, who has singled and tripled and scored a run and driven in another, tries to keep the inning going for Lafayette. Turns on this one foul.
Good idea there, trying to pull that one right down the line. That one stays fair. Everybody's running for days. It's been a really entertaining final game of day one here. Game number 4. Both of these two teams seem pretty evenly matched. It's been fun to watch.
1 in the first, 2 in the third, now 2 in the fourth for Lafayette. 2 runs in each of the first and second for Central Michigan. And this one rolls into the Central Michigan dugout, 0-2.
what looked like was going to be an inning where Lafayette might be kicking themselves when it ended. They've done a nice job here at picking each other up. Powers with the triple, Huffins with the single. Lafayette all of a sudden has the lead. This one hit well too.
Center fielder drifting over, can't get there in time. Huffins flying around the base pass, he'll score. It's now 6-4 for the Lafayette All-Stars.
Lafayette continuing to keep that streak alive and doing a nice job. They kind of smelled blood in the water here in this inning, and they're taking advantage of it right now. Nice swing, and then again, this one tails back towards center field. That's the name of the game, man. Hit them where they're not.
Levesque now 3 for 3.
Trying to get himself an early nomination for player of the game. It's always fun at the end of the day when you look at your batting average and it says 1.000 beside it.
And it's the outside corner for a strike. Deering walked last time up, singled, and was thrown at home plate trying to score on a wild pitch. But already here in the bottom of the fourth, we are working through the third trip through the lineup for the Lafayette All-Stars. This one popped up. Center fielder was playing towards right, but has all kinds of time to drift over and make the play. Anguiano is there, but the inning is over. Lafayette puts 3 on the board for the first time tonight, and they're back in front for the first time since the top of the first. 6-4 they lead here on MTC Sports.
Construction projects mean deadlines. At McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, we understand the challenges our customers face. That's why our team of professionals are here to help. From our knowledgeable support staff to our industry-leading service department, McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store are here to make sure you get the right equipment delivered on time. Whether it's Cat equipment, JLG lifts, or Solaire air compressors, we carry it all. McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, helping build Indiana since 1945.
My name's Gary Gangwer, and I own the Gangwer Insurance Agency as well as farm here in Clinton County. 1974, I bought my first combine and became a custom combiner for area farmers. Most teenagers buy cars, but I was crazy enough to buy a combine. My father wasn't a farmer, but it was important for me to farm. That's all I ever wanted to do.
Pepe's Mexican Restaurant is excited to announce new menu items to an already stacked lineup of authentic Mexican dishes. Everything from tossed greens with fruit to a Pepe-style chicken pizza. For you seafood lovers, try the shrimp tacos. For my personal favorite is the barbacoa taco dinner. Whether it's a new menu item or one of our signature selections, be sure to wash it down with a tasty beverage. Whatever your flavor, make Pepe's your stop for lunch or dinner. Located on Sagamore Parkway in the mall parking lot, Lafayette.
So 3 runs in the top of the fourth for the Lafayette All-Stars, trying to earn that free pass to Sunday. Save that pitching staff and try to claim a long-awaited Colt World Series championship. Huffins, that's the liner to right that put him in front 5-4. One more shot here by Levesque that makes it a 6-4 lead for the Lafayette All-Stars.
Just a nice job of timely hitting for them. As you see Huffins come around to score. He was huffing and puffing around third base that time.
Here is Austin Young, number 6 hitter. And this one into right center field. This will get down. That should be extra bases. It'll get to the wall. It could be 3. He'll make the turn. Could be a play. They throw, relay, tag applied. They got it.
Boy, what a play. I'll tell you what, I thought that the second baseman turned the wrong way there and was not going to have a chance on that cutoff. But a great throw that time from Alex Bauer on the money. Third base makes it easy on the third baseman to apply the tag. Watch this again. I mean, a great piece of hitting here, Greg. Reaches out and just absolutely tattoos this ball into the gap. And Lafayette does a nice job on the relay. Right here's what I'm talking about, though. Body turned the wrong way and has to flip around, but fires an absolute strike to get him.
Frankly, the throw by LaGuire again was so good. He had time.
Yeah,
he had time to make that incorrect turn and not have a problem with it. 9-4-5, and instead of a leadoff double or a leadoff triple, it's simply 1 out for Central Michigan. So Thomas Judge at the plate. Judge walked and scored last time up. That one misses high. Judge says he wants to be a history teacher. He's done with his college days. Judge will work the bases on balls. So second time that Judge has earned the free pass. In fact, he's the only player so far for Central Michigan to draw a walk from Eberhardt. There's about half the roster in the bullpen right now for Lafayette. On call if needed.
That's the benefit of bringing as many pitchers as they did this year. You can call on anybody at this point in time, throw them out there on the mound.
Shape for the right fielder. They'll throw behind the runner. First baseman never had a chance to apply the tag, that being Deering. Right idea to throw behind the left-handed batter. By the way, activity is starting to pick up in the other bullpen as well, given the fact that Lafayette scored 5 in the last 2 innings. This one misses high and outside, 1-2.
You go back to that play a moment ago, and that was a great play by Deering down at first, just to stay with that ball, not let that get into right field.
Seen Schaefer make a couple of nice plays in right tonight. Stuck with that pitch. Good job. Kind of waited for that ball. Think it was going to curve into the zone. Didn't get a lot of it, but got enough to see another pitch.
Yeah, that's all you got to get. Just get a piece. Enough to make contact, make everybody realize you got enough of it.
When asked about his favorite food, Cade said Pop-Tarts of the wild cherry variety. It's a good choice. I'm more partial to cinnamon myself, but I can respect the effort.
I can tell you that wild cherry Pop-Tarts are one of the favorites in my household. We keep them stocked.
When asked about his favorite athlete in another sport, he says Joey Chestnut.
Why not? Eating champion.
Time allows. I got a pretty good Joey Chestnut story to share. 3-2. And that's a walk. Good job by the bottom of this lineup here. They're getting on the base pass, and now the potential go-ahead run comes to the plate. The number 9 hitter in Wyatt Cook. Cook, a sacrifice fly his last time up.
Got to think about how big that play was, throwing Young out at third. The bases juice right now if you were Michigan.
There is a righty throwing in the pen now for Lafayette. Cook says he hopes to attend the University of Michigan in a couple of years. Taken all the way was Cook, and that's in for a strike. Part of a varsity football district championship at Mount Pleasant High School in the fall. Curveball, a beauty. Absolutely. Strike 2.
You know, notice too, a lot of the players today, their favorite subject is math. I like to count my money, but that's as much math as I like to do.
That also might count as economics as your favorite subject,
there
perhaps,
you go, right?
Or business. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Good pitch selections. Did a good job of moving those up and down the zone, did Eberhardt.
He really has. He's pitched a good game here today. I mean, he had a few rough innings there, but overall, done a really nice job just commanding the strike zone today, mixing his pitches up.
That completes the second trip through the lineup for Central Michigan. Anguiano, leadoff man, singled and scored back in the first, struck out in the second. That strikeout of Cook, by the way, was strikeout number 4 for Eberhardt. 3 2/3 innings of work. Just below the knees, 1-0 the count.
You talked about the eye level, changing it up here in the pitches. He starts him out low. Obviously want to try to keep it down. If you get an aggressive swing there on the first one, try to get a ground ball out to end the inning.
That misses inside, 2-0.
Eberhardt doing a good job of mixing things up where he's not, it's not something where you can expect what's coming next.
Strike call.
Worked him down, worked him in, worked him out.
Curveball didn't break in time. Kind of broke after it got to home plate. 3-1.
That's a pretty good. That's a nice place to put that pitch, but it's a good place to put that pitch when the count's 1-2, not 2-1. That batter to chase that pitch.
Taken all the way. That's in for a strike at 3-2. A pivotal moment in this game here. Runners, of course, will be taken off on the pitch home.
Yeah, this is a big pitch right here for Eberhardt.
Anguiano, another young man with a 4.0 GPA through 2 years of high school. And that one never close to the zone. Bases loaded, and all the runners that are on right now on courtesy of a bases on balls. And Coach Loggins heading out to the mound. Let's see if this is anything more than a conversation. There is a wave from the bullpen that says, hey, if you want to make a change, we're ready down here.
I think if you're Loggins, you'd like to see Eberhardt finish out this inning here. Just to keep things simple as far as innings pitched and logging that information.
There you see again, when you see the pitcher wave his hat like that, he's not waving for the camera. That's the signal that we're ready if you need us. But they've got lefty versus lefty here, and Freeman is 0 for 2 tonight. They're going to at least run a roll the dice on one more batter for Eberhardt.
Yeah, and Freeman hasn't looked good against Eberhardt either. Popped one up right back to him and then struck out in his second at bat. So I think this is a good decision here by Loggins. Coach Loggins to leave Eberhardt in here. I really think he's done a nice job in this game so far. Only giving up 4 hits. They do have the 4 runs. Let him battle back here and get this last out.
This is the zone on pitch number 1.
And that may have been more of a confidence conversation, just going out and saying, hey, you got 3 walks in this inning. Just get back to throwing strikes. Let the defense behind you take care of you.
Not close to the zone there, 2-0.
Yeah, trying to overthrow. And that's not what you got to do here. Eberhardt doesn't need to feel like he has to do this all on his own. He's just got to hit the strike zone here. And again, try not to catch too much of the plate.
Swing and a miss. They'll throw behind the runner. Got to tell you, even if that was going to be a called strike, I'm surprised that Freeman was swinging away 2-0. 2-1 the count.
I'm with you, but if I'm Berenda, man, that's one I don't know that I'm throwing down there. You would hate to give up runs and allow him to score when you've got an opportunity just to take care of the batter here.
Outside corner, strike call, 2-2.
Especially now. I'm not snap throwing anything. I don't care if the guy's 40 feet off the base. I will walk him back down there and then come back and get back in my catcher position.
Curveball
got him. What a pitch.
Broke in there perfectly, and Eberhardt added to his degree of difficulty in the 4th inning. But the score remains the same. Lafayette 6, Central Michigan 4. Top of the 5th when we come back on MTC Sports.
Tecton Construction Management has been serving Central Indiana for over 25 years. Whether you have a renovation project or new construction, Tecton Construction Management can assist you from the initial idea to the completion of the project. Their trademark Tecton filtering system is designed to save you time and money, providing you with more value for your investment. Both the completion schedule and budget are established before ever breaking ground to solidify your peace of mind. Before you start your next project, call Tecton Construction Management. Always on time, always under budget.
How's it going? Nice to meet you guys. I have these 2 laptops. We're going to each download a TV show. I'm going to download it on Xfinity, and you guys are going to download it with AT&T Uverse. And we're going to see who goes faster. Go.
Well, this is a no-brainer so far.
How's AT&T doing?
Struggling.
I'm ready to go. We'll wait for you guys.
Looks like we're going to be waiting for a while.
Don't let Uverse slow you down. Upgrade to an Xfinity X1 Triple Play from Comcast and save when you bundle. See for yourself. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit Comcast.com today.
Top of the 5th inning, Lafayette All-Stars leading Central Michigan 6-4 here at the Colt World Series. Gives us another opportunity to thank some of our sponsors for tonight's game. Every season starts at Dick's Sporting Goods. I'm going to thank them for their sponsorship here. Lafayette Community Bank, completely invested in your hometown, and they sure are. Best Western. We've heard that the hotels here in town are sold out this week. Best Western, one of our sponsors, and we will meet you at Arnie's. We'll definitely be eating there this week, right? Wintech Corporation, again, one of our sponsors here as well.
Now I'm glad that I only use Dick's Sporting Goods scorebooks. And I'll be stopping to get one before I return on Sunday, because this is the last page of the book that I have.
You do that every year here.
Yep. I buy the last scorebook of the year at Dick's Sporting Goods every August.
You wait to try to get it as inexpensive as you can, don't you?
Just procrastinate about all things in life. Berenda up at the plate for Lafayette. 5, 6, and 7 coming up this time through. Berenda has a pair of bases on balls to his plate appearances so far. Caloris on for his 5th inning of work. We talked about this kind of earlier in the game. Again, your starting pitchers have gotten you into the 5th now, which isn't too bad for the first day of what could be a 6 straight day tournament. Curveball misses 2-2.
Again, this game 4 here have been one of the best matchups of the day between these two teams. It's been fun to watch. It's good baseball.
Sprayed foul, 2-2 the count. Again, Brenda will see another one. Loris has his favorite baseball team, the Tigers. Favorite player, former Tiger Brandon Inge. Favorite player in another sport, Andre Drummond of the Detroit Pistons. I hope for Zach's sake he is a better free throw shooter. Strike 3. I don't think Berenda was expecting a fastball. Got him on the inside corner, 1 down.
Yeah, good pitch there. By Caloris, perfectly placed, gets him looking. That'll be a backwards K in the scorebook.
3rd strikeout for Caloris. And it's the first time since the 1st inning that the leadoff man is retired by Caloris. Here's Keldon Tyson.
He has hit the ball twice today, but I thought were really good placement and nice solid contact, and has nothing to show for it other than being 0 for 2 right now.
Two and 0. Flores has missed high on both of his last 2 offerings. Brings it back in the zone here, and Tyson will foul it straight back. Tyson batting number 6 position. High hopper. Shortstop tried to play with his bare hand with Tyson's speed and couldn't make the play. And that'll go down as an error on the shortstop. You talked about it, and we have seen it for the last 5 years, even with kind of more usage of this facility this year. And even with pretty good amount of rain that we have had this summer here in the area, this is still a pretty hard infield, and that ball will bounce high off of it.
Yeah, this is a field, unfortunately. I understand Allen there trying to barehand it because Tyson's showing good speed going down the line, but this is one infield that you can't try to get cued on. You got to stick to the basics, and even when you do, sometimes it gobbles you up. It's unlike any field I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of live baseball and never seen anything like this like we get here at the Colt World Series, and I keep referring to trampoline. That's what I keep calling it, because that's exactly what it's like.
And the ball gets away from the first baseman. The throw actually hit off of the first base umpire, so it kicked back towards the dugout instead of down the right field line. Tyson will again advance to second. We'll give the first base umpire just a minute to make sure he is all right.
I tell you, I couldn't tell if that one got him in the thigh or right in the kneecap, but either way, that drilled him. And if it doesn't, right there off the lower leg, got him right in the knee. If that doesn't, that probably heads out into right field, and Tyson may be standing on third base, so that's kind of a benefit there for Michigan. These umpires are tough. Yep, rubbing that left knee, good call.
Errors 4 and 5 for Michigan in this inning. And that is the 4th error in the last 2 innings for the Central Michigan Stars.
I don't know where that umpire's from, but hopefully he doesn't have to drive too far tonight, and hopefully he doesn't drive a stick shift, because that leg, that's going to be sore come tomorrow.
So Bauer walked and scored last time up. All in the dirt. Good job to block that one by Cook. A further advance from the runner at second base and Tyson. And Lafayette has scored in every inning but the second tonight. Trying to join their compatriots from Hoosier North is getting wins on the opening day of the tournament. And this is high, 2-0. Hopped up. Shallow center. Shortstop going back. Anguiano is there. Anguiano, I should say. Either way, he makes the play, 2 down.
And Bauer just doesn't get enough of this one to put it anywhere to advance Tyson.
LaGuire at the plate now for Lafayette. He got a walk and a run scored, but where he has been most impressive, he really should have had an assist on 2 different putouts from right field. His throws both to the cutoff man and home plate have been fun to watch.
He wants to be a sports trainer. I think that he just needs to throw javelin or something. And that young man's got a cannon. Something involves that right arm for sure.
And do you know the member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame who was very much a competitive javelin thrower before his football days?
Humor me.
Terry Bradshaw.
Really?
Also threw the javelin at Louisiana Tech.
All right.
This one fouled straight back. And I would encourage you, if somebody ever asks you to be a javelin catcher, that you turn them down.
Yeah, I don't think that I want to do that.
Probably a good idea.
Being a human dartboard doesn't sound like much fun.
There you go.
You know, it is amazing, too, when you think about Terry Bradshaw, to think that he was the backup to Phil Robertson at one point in time, the Duck Dynasty reality TV star. To even think that he was a college football quarterback.
This one again sprayed foul. Back towards the water park that you can see behind us. Here on this Columbian Park property, you've got the zoo, you've got the water park, you've got the baseball facility. And we touched on this, again, for our out-of-town and out-of-area viewers. Right, there's going to be some pretty massive changes here over the course of the next couple of years. We'll go to a turf field here. We'll completely redo the stands. That's kind of the long-term commitment of having the Lafayette Aviators of the Prospect League. Maybe potentially you bring in the soccer team that could play here on that turf as well.
You got an NPSL team that plays here locally in Lafayette, over off State Road 25, so bringing in even another team that would be competitive on that level would be fun just for rivalry purposes. You'd have some close games to play. Kokomo, I mean, that's pretty cool. They got it going on over there. The Kokomo Mantis, I think that's great. They've got the praying mantis statue as you drive into town, or downtown district, and then the jackrabbit. So those are two of the best logos, or to have them, the jackrabbits and the mantis. I think that's just awesome.
Count it 1-2 now. That clipped the jersey. It came close, 2-2.
And that same ownership group that owns the Jackrabbits over there own the Aviators here as well. So
it'll be MKE Sports Entertainment.
Pretty cool. A lot of love to those guys.
Count even up now at 2-2. Just missed off the outside corner. McGuire has worked it from 0-2 to 3-2.
You can always tell the umpires that aren't used to being on TV because they typically stand in the exact same zone that we want to be in. They want to see that same strike zone area from right there at second base. So instead of seeing the strike zone, we get a good shot of their backside. We'll train them up for the week's over.
Second time tonight. McGuire's working a long at bat at the plate. He struck out last time, but saw several pitches and doing it again. Did a lot of the little things well for the Lafayette All-Stars this evening.
I know, I just heard you say his name again. I looked down, I'm like, he's still up. We were talking about him about 10 minutes ago.
And a swing and a miss. So again, nothing to show for a lengthy at bat, except kind of racking up the pitch count of the opposing pitcher. It is a 0 on the board for Lafayette for just a second time tonight. Into the home half of the fifth we go. The Lafayette All-Stars lead by 2 on MTC Sports.
Wouldn't it be sweet to happily live a life that's filled with glee and sing about how joyful it can be? I'd like to hear that.
Live life to its fullest every day with the highest level of primary care from Indiana University Health.
When you have your health, you have everything.
Indiana University Health. Schedule same-day primary care appointments at 1-888-IU-HEALTH.
Came from Vader, removed it was his wallet. Smile it did. Ooh, at our Dente Dental.
Want to thank our tremendous crew from MTC Sports. They have put in a long first day here at Loeb Stadium in Lafayette. And their reward is putting in a couple of more long days over the course of the weekend. It's our pleasure to be here for a 5th consecutive season of producing these telecasts on MTC Sports.
Excited to be back on the broadcast again tomorrow with Chris Walker doing the 4 games tomorrow here, starting at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. So
we do have a pitching change, by the way, now for the Lafayette All-Stars. So Eberhardt will be done after 4 innings. That is Pendleton that is the pitcher now for Lafayette. Let's get you the numbers on Eberhardt. There's 4 innings. Strikes out 5. Walks 4. allows 4 hits, and allows 4 runs. But he is currently in line to get the victory here. Let's tell you about Pendleton. Young man attends McCutcheon High School. He will be a junior. He wants to have a career in law enforcement when he's done with his college days. Had a chance to play in the Pony World Series when he was 13 years of age. Got to pitch in the sectional championship for the Mavericks this spring. As far as who he'll be facing for the Central Michigan Stars in this inning, it's the middle of the lineup. It is 3, 4, and 5. Weatherby, Leonard, and Allen. And of course, Leonard, the man that smacked the home run back in the bottom of the first for Central Michigan. First pitch, fastball in for a strike.
That's a good start when you come in relief. You want to come out throwing strikes right away.
Shows him the fastball on pitch 1, goes with the curveball on pitch 2. The result the same, counted 0-2. This one line to right center field. LaGuire is there. He's equally adept with the glove as he's been with the arm. There's one down.
Second straight at bat that Weatherby's flown out to right field. Still looking for his first hit in the tournament. Nice play by LaGuire.
Here is Leonard. He hit it well in his second at bat too. The line drive to Bauer in right field. I asked what he wants to do when he grows up. Said be a professional baseball player. Well, that swing that he had in the first inning, he's got a chance. And it's the outside corner for a strike. And Berenda and Pendleton a little conversation to make sure they're on the same page. Pendleton this year listed as having 3 appearances for the Mavericks with a 2.69 ERA and had an 0-1 record. Listed as 13 innings pitched at the varsity level.
It's pretty awesome as a sophomore, though, to get some work up there at the varsity level at 4A.
That might have been ball 2 instead. Swinging on the pitch was Leonard. Sends it down the first base side, 1-2 the count. And again, for those that are maybe watching from Michigan or elsewhere in the tournament, McCutcheon perennially is one of the baseball powers in the area. You almost bank on them having at least 20 wins every year. 2-2 the count. We've seen such good talent roll through here in this tournament the last 3 or 4 years for Lafayette. It's not surprising. Most of the area teams have had good seasons. It's been more than just Central Catholic as of late.
Yeah, absolutely. Saw Jeff have some success. West Lafayette's come along. Harrison baseball is always good as well.
This one drilled to center field. Huffman's going back, and makes the catch. Again, a lot of high school ballparks, you're not trying to hit one towards 407 in center field. And there's also not many center fielders that have the speed that young man does. 2 down.
You think it doesn't mess with the defenders as well? Turning around and running. He's used to running into a warning track or fence by this point. Turns around, realizes there's still a lot of room out here, and then has to readjust and find the ball again. Able to squeeze that one. Little basket catch.
So Allen, who is 0 for 2 tonight, struck out looking to end the third. This one sprayed foul. Lafayette pitchers trying to go 1-2-3 through batters 3, 4, and 5 for Central Michigan for a second time this evening.
And really, for the most part, other than the home run to Leonard, the pitching for Lafayette's done a nice job at the top part of the lineup here for Central Michigan.
Line drive snagged by Deering. Couple of hard shots this inning by Central Michigan, but unfortunately, atom balls, as in right at Lafayette defenders. We are through 5 in Game 4 of the Colt World Series. Lafayette leads 6-4 on MTC Sports.
Since 1969, Haley's Lock, Safe, and Key has provided expertise and solutions when dealing with residential or commercial security needs. Whether you're looking for a safe, seeking access solutions, or in need of automotive keys, nobody can serve you better than Haley's.
One-on-one service and simply the best solutions. We've been providing it daily for more than 40 years.
Haley's Lock, Safe, and Keys. Call, visit, or find us online. 2 locations, Crawfordsville and Lafayette.
We love to see you here at the Farmers Bank. However, we know there are times you need to bank on your schedule, wherever you may be. With the Farmers Bank mobile banking app, you can check balances, transfer funds, pay bills, and now you can also securely deposit checks with your smartphone by simply taking a picture of the check. Download our mobile banking app today. The Farmers Bank, your local bank, your mobile bank, your bank for life.
Look inside the Lafayette dugout. Their pitchers have now put zeros on the board for Michigan in each of the last 3 innings. Caloris is going to come on for his 6th inning of work for the Central Michigan Stars and trying to keep his team in it. It's currently a 2-run lead for Lafayette.
Yeah, Lafayette did a nice job of battling back once they fell behind. They took that early lead 1-0, the home run for Central Michigan, and then a couple of more added runs. But since then, Lafayette's been able to kind of hold them steady right there at that 4 total run mark.
9-1-2 coming up this time through for Lafayette. Siegel, followed by Powers and Huffins.
And Powers is that guy that's had really nice at-bats here in his last 2, a single and a triple. If Siegel could find a way to get on in front of him here and let that momentum carry for Powers, could be another big inning for Lafayette.
Siegel 0 for 2 tonight. This one, second baseman couldn't make the play. That'll be ruled as an error. So Siegel officially 0 for 3, but reaches base for a first time, and that is now 6 errors committed by Central Michigan.
You know, you look at the 6 errors, and then you look at the game that Collares has pitched, and it's really not been that bad. He's done a nice job of throwing strikes tonight. Lafayette's gotten a few hits off of him, but the defense has kind of let him down a few times as well behind him.
Let's see if Lafayette starts playing for an insurance run here. Actually kind of moving some guys over in scoring position. Maybe not with Powers. He's swinging a hot bat. He has singled and tripled and scored in his last 2 plate appearances and has a pair of runs batted in for his trouble. And Powers lines that one. Left center field. Anguiano diving over. Can't make the diving play. It goes off his glove. Runner will hold at second. Left fielder was backing him up. And that's going to be ruled as a base hit by our official scorer and Darren Porter. And I'd agree because Anguiano was making pretty much a hustle play. Look where he's lined up, other side of second base.
Yeah, you got to come way across the diamond. He really maybe didn't have to go for the dive there, but I think he surprised himself how quickly he got to that ball. Made a nice play on it.
So rule that as a hit, number 8 tonight, and number 3 for Powers. Here is Huffins, singled. A rocket to right field last time up. And again would come around to score. A little meeting of the minds here on the pitcher's mound for Central Michigan. And you got to think with Huffins' speed, they might be thinking about putting down a bunt here, not for a sacrifice, but move the runners around great, but potentially get him on first base as well.
Yeah, we saw him motoring around the base pass last time. If you can advance the runners and get yourself on, that'd be huge.
Takes a look at it. Had the attention of the third baseman in Weatherby. 1-0 the count.
They say speed kills, and you worry about that too. If he's able to put the bunt down, how much that affects. Sometimes you rush the throw, trying to make sure you have enough time to throw the runner out.
First baseman in as well. Huffins watched that one sail by, 2-0. Clearly they want the first baseman to try to make the play in Leonard to keep the third baseman close to the bag to potentially get the lead runner. which in this case is Siegel off a second. 3-0. And Huffins may not have to even think about putting the ball in play to try to move to first base at this point. You get the idea that Caloris might be running on fumes here.
Absolutely, and I'm not even attempting to bunt here. I got the full take on right now. He's struggling to throw strikes. You might show it out there just to mess with him a little bit, but I'd be very surprised if he actually puts this bunt down.
Taken all the way, 3-1 the count.
I'd be surprised if he does it again here.
Puts the bunt down in fair territory. They'll tag Huffins, but the runners successfully move to second and third. And you now bring up Levesque, who is 3 for 3 tonight with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, you go back to that play from Huffins. I said I'd be surprised. I should have clarified that. I'd be surprised if it's anywhere outside the zone that you would attempt. You'd pull back again, obviously, and take ball 4. But with that one going to be strike 2, he does a nice job of putting it down the line.
Here's Levesque. Pair of singles and a triple. Run scored and 2 RBI for the young man that plays for the Harrison High School Raiders. This one hops foul. And Levesque, one of the more accomplished high school hitters of the young men on this team.
Talked about him being 3 for 3, really swinging a hot bat here, and he's got a couple of RBIs just waiting to be driven in here.
The infield has to play in here. Trailing by 2 in the top of the 6th in this 7-inning game.
You know, important to note, too, nobody up throwing for Michigan in the bullpen right now.
Ground ball, first baseman. Runners were not going on contact. And frankly, if he would have been, it would have been an out at home plate. So Levesque retired for the first time tonight, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, back-to-back unassisted plays there from the first baseman. It's the 2 outs in the inning.
Deering to the plate, he's 1 for 2 tonight. Singled back in the first. Flew out to center field his last time up, did Deering. Bobby says he wants to be a sports marketer. He's done with his collegiate days or his baseball playing days. Also has a goal of attending the University of Michigan. He graduates from Harrison High School. This one sliced foul down the left field line.
Should probably buddy up with one of these guys from this Michigan team here. Maybe you can go up there and stay and tour the campus and hang out in Michigan for a while.
Curveball misses high, 2-1.
For Caloris, you know, if you get out of this here after you got runners on second and third with 1 out in the inning, if you're able to get out of this unscathed, you got to think that gives a little bit of boost confidence-wise to this Michigan team. If they can find a way to get those bats going again.
And again, Deering will see another pitch. Count now goes to 2-2.
Got to get Deering here first, though. So far, Lafayette today been really good in this situation. When they've gotten a runner to third base, they've typically gotten him home. There's been a few times they've done it with 2 outs.
Heads up down the line. A couple of stay alive swings by Deering.
Took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what that is right there, is just trying to live to see another pitch, realizing this could be potentially called strike 3 if I don't swing at it.
So far, 5 runners stranded in 5 innings to this point for Lafayette. They've got runners at second and third as we speak. Just trying to pad that lead a little bit. And a swing and a miss. Good battle by Caloris. It's 3 straight outs to end the threat. Put a 0 on the board for Lafayette. Central Michigan's got 6 outs to get 2 more runs to tie this one. 3 or more to go ahead. 6-4 Lafayette leads on MTC Sports.
All the highlights, all the breakdowns, all the games,
all the analysis, all the live look-ins.
MLB Tonight, bringing you closer to the game. All the time. All the time. All the time. All the time. MLB Tonight, every night. Only on MLB Network.
Welcome back to Loeb Stadium. MTC Sports coverage of the 2016 Colt World Series. That's a look down the third base line. Pendleton on for his second inning of work in relief for Eberhardt. Lafayette pitchers have kept the Central Michigan bats quiet for the last 3 innings. Batters 6, 7, and 8 due up this inning for Central Michigan. This portion of tonight's broadcast brought to us by our friends at Arnie's. Meet you at Arnie's. Thanks to Wintech for their support and sponsorship of the Colt World Series. The same for our friends at Krabby Mike's Barbecue. I don't know about you, but I'm never too crabby when I get to eat at Krabby Mike's Barbecue.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Ditka dog. That's all I'm going to say.
Is that the way to go?
Got to have a Ditka dog for the week's over.
I will take your word for it.
It's a spicy sausage, man. It's awesome. There's a great shot of the Arnie sign. Well placed by our camera operators there.
Both Arnie's and the original frozen custard down the left field line, and that's the only kind of bad news about there not really scheduled to be any rain for the next several days. I don't have a chance to, during a rain delay, go to the original frozen custard and buy everybody custard here in the press box. It's kind of become a tradition over the years. I did notice that you had some extra Arnie's and offered me none of it earlier. So thanks a lot. You have no defense for that, do you? Yeah, no defense whatsoever. Austin Young in an 0-2 predicament here.
My defense is the rest of the crew sat around and ate it while I was calling the last game, so I was just making sure I got my piece.
Swing and a miss. He'll have to throw on to first to complete the out. Berenda takes his time, records the putout, and Young retired. And Pendleton has sent down all 4 batters he's faced so far.
He's looked good since he's come in. Really been a nice change up here from their original starter in the game. A nice job as you look at it again here, swing and a miss. You talked about making a nice throw on down to first base.
So Judge has walked in his previous plate appearances. He scored in the second. Wood scoring a wild pitch for the DH and Judge. Activity in the Lafayette pen if needed. They got a lefty throwing down there as we speak. Pendleton has showed no issues so far. There you get a look at that bullpen activity. That is Jacob Marin that is getting ready if needed for Lafayette. All quiet on the western front down the first base line for Central Michigan. Liner, first baseman makes the play. Pendleton over, throw in time, taps on the bag, 2 down.
That was nicely done. We've seen some good defense here today, really. That ball pulling the first baseman off the bag. This is the benefit of having a left-handed first baseman as well. Having that glove in his furthest reach point. Able to spin around and throw to first base. Pendleton. It's a good job there.
Cade Schaefer, right fielder. Cade lists his hometown as Big Rapids, Michigan. You're probably not surprised to note that I have done a sports broadcast from Big Rapids, Michigan before.
So there's actually a Big Rapids and then a Grand Rapids?
Grand Rapids is south. Big Rapids is further north. Big Rapids is the home of Ferris State University.
Okay.
This Chippewa Hills High School is where Cade attends high school. He's the young man that's the big fan of Joey Chestnut. And I've had a chance to interview Joey in studio on a radio show a couple of times, actually. As Joey has made it a habit of coming to the Big Ten football championship game in Indianapolis. We'll have to save that story for another at-bat for young Mr. Schaefer later in the tournament because, again, Central Michigan goes down 1-2-3. 6 in a row retired by Pendleton. This one counts as 1-4-3. To the top of the 7th we go on MTC Sports.
Would like to think of myself as being a specialist in farm insurance because that's what I use as a farmer, is insurance. Crop insurance. I know the importance of carrying high limits of liability. Price is important. It's got to be affordable. It's got to be a main part of my operation and operating costs because I can't afford to have a loss without coverage.
Football league. To the top of the 7th we go. Lafayette leading Central Michigan 6-4. Looking for insurance runs here will be Lafayette. Caloris going to try to get the complete game and again save the arms for another day. And if this score does not change, you look at the Czech baseball team. Czech Republic again representing Europe here in the Colt World Series. But the young men from Michigan are going to turn around and play first thing tomorrow morning in the first elimination game of the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, you really just got to roll the dice. Caloris has not thrown a bad game, even though they're down on the scoreboard right now. If he can get you 3 more outs without getting, beat up too bad here in this half inning, then it's a win for Michigan because at the end of the day, he goes the complete game. If you can come back and get your bats going and get the victory, then you went 1 pitcher and you don't have to play again until Sunday. Same thing, if you were to lose this game, you still only use 1 pitcher, so you're going to have the rest of your staff to go tomorrow. I think this is absolutely the right call here.
So the catcher and Miranda do up here for Lafayette, followed by Tyson and Bauer.
I can tell you at the end of this game, that young man's going to have a huge ice pack put on that shoulder and elbow. Need to make sure that he takes care of himself, but he's pitched a good game here today so far.
This game right at the 2-hour mark at this point.
Especially when you go back and you look at the fact that through 4 innings, that's where the 6 runs come from. He's blanked them back-to-back innings in the 5th and the 6th. Not that Lafayette hasn't threatened him, but he's done a good job of pitching out of jams.
1-1 the count. Miranda 2 walks and a strikeout tonight. That curveball is of the 12-6 variety. Ball's in there perfectly. Strike call.
I like it when you get to the last inning and that curveball's still working for you as well. That shows the arm's not complete jello just yet.
Sends a charge into this one. Right fielder drifting back. Jumps. Didn't time the jump out well. Miranda into second base. It'll be a double.
That's one of the hardest hit balls that we've seen to right field today. That one hung up there long enough and carried far enough for Miranda. Get that over the right fielder's head. I'm with you. You see him backtracking here and then just mistimes the jump. But I don't know even if he times a little better if he'd have got it.
It's one of those where frankly didn't need to jump. Had not even gotten to the warning track just yet. So Tyson at the plate. Tyson 0 for 3 tonight. And again, you wonder, is he going to be asked to put one down here?
I would. If you're Lafayette, you got to find a way to manufacture at least 1 more run for insurance. I mean, Michigan's shown that they can strike quickly if need be. They haven't done it for a while.
I thought about putting the bunt down. He'll move over with a sacrifice fly. Right fielder does make the grab. That made it at his shoe tops. And advancing over to third base is Miranda, and there's one down.
So sac fly, able to hit it far enough to right field. You look at this catch again, making things interesting. Comes in and you're right, little shoestring grab out there in right field. Able to advance that runner to third, though, and that is a huge run here for both teams. Lafayette wanting that third run to gain the lead a little more.
I think Lafayette was almost under the impression that he might have dropped that ball. He didn't. That was an out. But did they say that, did Berenda not tag up properly? Because now Berenda is heading back towards the dugout, which tells me there are now 2 outs in the inning for Lafayette.
Boy, how big of a gaffe could this be for Lafayette? You potentially have an insurance run that puts you up 3, 90 feet away from home, and instead you've got 2 outs and nobody on in the inning.
Looking ahead for Central Michigan. 9-1-2. Look, and they have not had a hit since the leadoff double that was turned into an out by Young back in the 4th inning. They would load the bases that inning, but that was on 3 walks. 4 runs on 4 hits tonight for Central Michigan. Looking at the other side of the ledger, if they can get to Leonard, who would be the 5th guy up in the inning. He's the young man that had the 2-run blast back in the 1st for Central Michigan. This is Bauer. That hits the corner for a strike, 1-2.
Not only a 2-run blast in the 1st, but he hit a deep fly ball to center field as well that would have probably been out of most high school ballparks. Not the major league dimensions that you see in dead center here.
Bauer walked and scored back in the 4th. Slow roller. Third baseman charges, but with Bauer's speed, doesn't have a play. Didn't get it cleanly, did Weatherby, but I'm not sure that really made a difference in the play, to be honest with you. That's an infield single for Bauer, and that second out now at second base looming awfully large.
Yeah, it's huge because this probably
if he tags up properly, it scores the run.
Yeah. And not only did he have to worry about Bauer's speed, he had to kind of work around his starting pitcher there as they nearly collided on that play, just trying to field the ball.
So LaGuire to the plate. He has struck out his last 2 times after lengthy at-bats. Two and 0. Runner could be caught between the base paths. They throw to second. They got a rundown going. Catcher, second baseman, first baseman, shortstop. Everybody getting involved. Throw back to the catcher. Bauer tried to hurdle him. Does so unsuccessfully. We could throw a bunch of numbers at you, but simply put, third out. Inning is over.
How about 3, 4, 6, 2, something like that?
Why not? Lafayette had a couple of chances to score additional runs. They do not, but they take a 2-run cushion to the bottom half of the 7th inning. As you're watching the 2016 Colt World Series at MTC Sports.
Pony baseball began in the summer of 1951 with the organization of the original Pony League in Washington, Pennsylvania. The league was originally designed to help transition 13 and 14-year-old players from the Little League Diamond to the regulation-sized Diamond. Today, more than 500,000 players participate in the Pony organization annually in the United States and in more than 25 countries around the world. For more information on pony baseball, go to pony.org. Don't miss pony baseball for the world. Pure baseball, pure pony.
Since 1980, Phoenix Lawn and Garden has been family owned and operated. For over 30 years, the Thomases have provided reliable, quality brand name products and services to their customers. Let's face it, you don't make it this far in this industry with anything less. Generation after generation. From the initial sale through the life of the purchase, Phoenix is there every step of the way. Thomas's Phoenix Lawn and Garden, where we make tall grass short.
Jacob Marin kind of coming on here in the save situation for the Lafayette All-Stars. Pendleton was outstanding in his 2 innings of work, faced the minimum batters of 6. They will turn it over to Marin here, young man from Central Catholic High School. We'll be asked to send Lafayette on to activity on Sunday and give him a day off tomorrow.
You know, for Lafayette, if they get through this game, the one thing they've got to tighten up before Sunday is some of these base running errors. That's the second time that Alex Bauer he was picked off earlier in the game, and he gets caught in between bases here in a pickle play and runs them out of an inning where they're really trying to threaten and add another insurance run. You add that with the fact that Berenda failed to tag up properly at second and created the second out of the inning. And it's almost, if you lose this game, it's what could have been for Lafayette.
So Wyatt Cook, we'll see Marin. He's a first pitch fastball. So Lafayette's gone lefty, righty, lefty.
And again, these are 15 and 16-year-old young men, so you got to understand that's a teaching moment for all of them, but got to learn from it.
They will ask the first base umpire, did Cook pull the bat back in time? He says yes. 1-1 the count. Cook tonight 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly RBI. Coming back in the second inning. This one popped up. Shallow right. LaGuire is there. One down. To the top of the lineup now, and Anguiano, as Jeff Allen is looking for hits.
Instead of rally caps, they got rally cups over there.
Cade Schaefer's trying to sound out a base hit over there in the dugout.
One trying to search one with a pair of cup binoculars, and the other one trying to hear one.
It has been hear no, see no as far as base hits for Central Michigan since the top of the fourth inning.
Boy, and you know, you think about it too. They started off hot, scoring 2 runs in the first, 2 runs in the second. They have been blanked since.
Chasing one at his feet that time was Anguiano. The count now 1-2.
When you think about it, you got to go back and credit the pitching. I mean, Eberhardt did a nice job. When he came out, Pendleton came in, got the job done. Right now they've turned it over to Marin to see if he can get the save here.
Anguiano tonight singled and scored back in the first. Walked in the fourth. Struck out in the second. First baseman, Deering, will make the play himself. Wins the foot race to the bag, and Central Michigan down to a final out.
Nice play again defensively for Lafayette. This is something that they've done well today. They've played great on defense, only committing the 1 error out there in the game so far today. They've been sound defensively.
So lefty versus lefty, and this is the matchup that Freeman has struggled with tonight. He struck out looking in his last 2 plate appearances, both to Eberhardt. In fact, that was the last batter that Eberhardt would face. The bases loaded strikeout of Freeman in the bottom of the fourth. Weatherby on deck if Freeman can keep this going. He is 0 for 3 tonight. One misses just a little bit high, 2-0. Swing and a miss. 2-1.
Good place to put that pitch there in a hitter's count. Put it up around the eyeballs. It looks like a beach ball coming at you.
One pitch away from the tying run coming to the plate here for Central Michigan. And it is Weatherby, then it is Leonard. Aaron comes back with a fastball, sprayed foul, and much like Central Michigan is 1 pitch from keeping this game going, Lafayette's 1 pitch from putting this one away. Ball 4. That was awfully close. Tying run will come to the plate now for the Central Michigan Stars in the form of Austin Weatherby.
Really thought that was a good call by the home plate umpire that time, to be honest with you. Nice job back there by Berenda to try to frame it up, but I thought he just lifted it too much there.
Weatherby tonight is 0 for 3. A couple of fly ball outs to right field his last 2 times to the plate.
As a catcher, sometimes you can over-frame a pitch. That was close enough. He might have got him if had he just caught it and kind of held it there.
This one belted towards left center field. Huffins on the run. Cannot make the diving catch. This one will get to the wall. Runner kind of hesitated at second base. Not sure why in that scenario. He'll eventually make it to third. It is a double for Weatherby. The tying run in scoring position now for Central Michigan. The go-ahead run comes to the plate in Dyer Leonard.
But I tell you what, Lafayette catches a break here. Doing a good job of backing each other up, but the runner and Freeman stops out there at second base thinking the play had been made and the game was over. You can't get caught ball watching out there. You've got to find the base coaches. You're coming around second base, you find that base coach and you're watching his every movement.
I think we're going to see a pinch runner here, I believe, for Central Michigan.
Why not? Why not? You got the tying run out there at second base right now. Get some speed. You got Leonard coming to the plate, who obviously has got pop in the bat. Doesn't have to hit one over the fence here. If he can just drive a base hit to the outfield, as long as it's not to right, you might have a chance to plate both of these guys.
Ty Beachel is the young man out at second base. He represents the tying run. So Dyer Leonard. He's hit the ball hard every time he's been at the plate tonight. One of them landed over the fence. He had a good count of the stitches on that ball on that pitch, 1-0.
I don't know. I almost rolled the dice here and just put him on. First base is open. You got a guy on deck that's 0 for 3 on the day so far.
Well, they might be craftily pitching around him here, too. 2-0 the count.
I mean, they've gotten him out. He's only 1 for 3 on the day, but like you said, he's hit the ball hard every single time he's been up.
That does get the outside corner. 2-1. Marin was a pitch away from ending the game. Walked Freeman at full count. And Weatherby with a shot to left center field has kept it going. This one hops to home plate. Blocked by Berenda. 3-1.
Shot behind the plate. It's the last thing you want here, too, is a pass ball. As much space there is behind the catcher there, pass ball pretty much equals a scored run. You don't want this Michigan bunch having any more confidence or inching any closer in this game if you're a Lafayette fan.
He's not given Leonard a good pitch to hit yet. He did that time. This one sprayed foul. LaGuire giving chase. LaGuire over. He makes the catch, and the ball game is over. That ball looked like it was going to get out of the facility. It got to the right field line. Wynn caught it, stopped it. LaGuire made the catch, and Lafayette is on to the winner's bracket on Sunday night.
Big win for them here in game number 1. They made some mistakes. They didn't play perfect here tonight by any means, but defensively, they played very sound and they got great pitching. And those are the two things that if you do them well, you can make a deep run in this tournament.
And defensively, nobody played better than the man that made that catch right there in Jonathan LaGuire. We'll take this quick timeout, come back, post-game show, including some winner interviews after this great game to cap off day number 1 of the Colt World Series. Lafayette 6, Central Michigan 4. Back to wrap it up next on MTC Sports.
We chose Haley's for our video surveillance needs because we've had great luck with them on the lock, safe, and key side. And when we found out that they also do video surveillance, we right away knew that we could trust Rick and his team over there. I would definitely recommend Haley's Lock, Safe, and Key to any business owner. They take great care of you. They have good, fair prices, and service after the sale is tremendous.
For security solutions and unbeatable support after the sale, visit Haley's in Lafayette and Crawfordsville.
Construction projects mean deadlines. At McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, we understand the challenges our customers face. That's why our team of professionals are here to help. From our knowledgeable support staff to our industry-leading service department, McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store are here to make sure you get the right equipment delivered on time. Whether it's cat equipment, JLG lifts, or Solaire air compressors, we carry it all. McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, helping build Indiana since 1945.
Welcome back for a final time this evening at Loeb Stadium. Greg Rakestraw, Sean Walker with you. Now to the field we go. Sam Rumps is standing by with some post-game conversations with the Lafayette All-Stars.
Game, and Coach Loggins, how would you assess your team's performance tonight? A victory in Game 1.
For our first time out in the series, I mean, I think it was pretty good. You know, they for the most part, did what they were expected. I mean, we got some quality pitching from all three guys, and guys like Tyler coming through in big situations and playing the game the way he plays it.
Yeah, what can you say about the guy to the left of me about his performance tonight?
Not only tonight, but I mean every night. Tyler's a gamer. You know, whatever school Tyler decides to go to and whatever school asks him to come play, they're getting one heck of a guy and a great player and somebody who's very solid all the time.
How big is the day off tomorrow and then going up against either Greensboro or Mexico?
Well, I don't know about the day off, but it's really huge not to play at 11 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, days off can do one of two things. They can make you passive or you can come back hungry. So I hope our team comes back hungry.
All right, thanks, Coach. And now with Tyler. Tyler, just take me through some of your at-bats tonight. What were you looking for and what do you see?
Well, I know when the count was in my favor, he was going to throw a fastball, so I was looking for that. And, you know, the guys before me really did a good job of getting on base and just found a hole and we got him in.
Over 2,000 people here at Loeb Stadium tonight. How is it to play in front of this home crowd?
Oh, I mean, it's something you dream about your whole life. I mean, since I was a little kid, I've always wanted to do this, and it's just a humbling experience. And I mean, it's lucky. I mean, not very many people get to do this with this atmosphere.
Tyler Powers, your player of the game. Guys, back to you. Thank you so much.
Sam, thank you very much, Coach. And Tyler, thank you so much for the time. Our Ivy Tech post-game show. Sean, your final thoughts on this one?
A well-played game by both teams, honestly. I felt like Lafayette did just enough defensively and pitching to make up for some of those base running gaffes. I don't know further in the tournament if they'll survive a game like this, but it's to be seen. But it looks like that both of the host area teams this year came to compete. It's anybody's tournament at this point in time. We've seen some good baseball today.
And for the young men from Central Michigan, they did a lot of things well. Too many errors tonight, but I'm really not sure if the errors are what determine the outcome of this game. But for this group, they got to turn around and play about 12 hours from now in an elimination game.
They do. And turn around right away. You play first thing. You got to play with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. It's tough. You traveled down here. You got to the World Series. You get the emotions going and the hype, and then you got to let all that go. And tomorrow, just come out, focus, play baseball like your life depends on it.
Day number 1 of the books from the Colt World Series for 2016 from Loeb Stadium. We'll do it again 4 more tomorrow. Pair of elimination games in the afternoon session and a couple of debuts in the evening session, including last year's runner-up in Greensboro, North Carolina. For Sean Walker and the rest of our MTC Sports crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you and good night from Lafayette. You've been watching the 2016 Colt World Series on MTC Sports.